Hello everyone. Myself Dr. Upendra Kumar. I am Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, IET Lucknow. So today I am going to discuss about a topic of design and analysis of algorithm, that is dynamic programming. So in this lecture we will see what is dynamic programming, what are the applications of dynamic programming, why we use dynamic programming, and finally at the last we will see we will discuss a knapsack problem, that how we can use dynamic programming in solving a 0-1 knapsack problem. So first of all, what is dynamic programming? So dynamic programming is basically a technique which is very much similar to divide and conquer strategy. So what is divide and conquer? Basically divide and conquer strategy includes three important steps: first divide, then conquer, and the third combine. So what we do in divide step, we divide a large problem into number of sub problems. Again these sub problems are again divided into sub problems and so on. And finally the second step, that is conquer. So what we do is these sub problems are solved recursively. And finally the third step is combine. Once all the sub problems are solved, now we need to combine the solutions of those sub problems in order to find out the solution of original problem. So basically dynamic programming is very much similar to divide and conquer strategy, but there is one difference. Difference is what? It is applicable when sub problems are not independent, means they are dependent. So what happens if the sub problems are interdependent, they are not independent? So in case of divide and conquer method, the common sub problems are solved repeatedly, while in case of dynamic programming a common sub problem is solved only once and the answer is stored in the table, and that answer is further being used for the next common sub problems. So this is what the basic difference between divide and conquer and dynamic programming. So we will see here with an example combinations and the Fibonacci series, that how dynamic programming would help us in saving our computation time. Now these are some applications: the matrix chain multiplication, longest common subsequence, travelling salesman problem. These problems would be discussed in our further lectures. Now 0-1 knapsack problem will be discussed in this lecture only. Now mathematical optimization problem, all pair shortest path algorithms, reliability design problem, flight control and robotics control, time sharing, it basically scheduling the job to maximize the CPU usage. So all these kind of applications are actually open for the dynamic programming applications. Now just see here, if we talk about the difference between divide and conquer and dynamic programming. So already divide and conquer involves the three steps: divide, conquer, and combine. The same is repeated in case of dynamic programming, but divide and conquer does more work on sub problems. Why? Because divide and conquer solve the sub problems recursively, means the common sub problems are solved repeatedly one by one. That is why it takes more time in comparison to dynamic programming. Now divide and conquer method is a top down approach, while dynamic programming is a bottom up approach. This is what the basic difference. Now here in case of divide and conquer, where we apply, where the sub problems are independent of each other, in that case we apply divide and conquer method, and when the sub problems are interdependent, they are not independent, so in that case we use dynamic programming. Now see there is an example, that is the combinations. Already we know that, and we know the formula of combinations, that NCR is equal to n minus 1 CR plus n minus 1 CR minus 1. This is the well known formula for the combinations. Now similarly NC1 is equal to 1 and NCN is equal to 1. So this is the basic definition of a combination problem. We just see here, if you want to find out the combination of 6 4 NC4, so in that case using the formula 1 we are actually dividing this problem into two sub problems. First sub problem is what? n minus 1 C R minus 1, that is 5 C 3, and here n minus 1 C R, that is n minus 1 C R, that is 5 C 4. So basically we are dividing a problem into 2 sub problem. Again these sub problems are again divided into number of sub problems. So, till we end up the base conditions. Okay. Just see here in this divide method, what we are actually looking, we are seeing that the combinations of 3 2, combination of 3 2 and combination of 3 2, basically this is a sub problem which is common, means 3 times occur in this problem. So, what happens? So, if we apply divide and conquer method, so these 3 sub problems will be solved repeatedly one by one. So, it would take time. If we talk about dynamic programming, so what dynamic programming does, it solves a common sub problem only once and it saves it into the table, and that answer is being further used for the next common sub problem. So, this is what the application of dynamic programming. Now, just see another application is Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series, already we know that the first 2 terms are constant 0 and 1, and the next term is obtained by adding the previous 2 terms. So, the third term would be obtained 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now, fourth term 1 plus 1 2. Now, the fifth term 2 plus 1 3. Now, 3 plus 2 5. So, and so on. So, Fibonacci series, the terms are obtained by adding the previous 2 terms. So, if we want to write down a recursive formula for it, so its formula will be what? F of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2, it is well known formula. Okay. Now, just see this problem can be solved by 2 methods. The first method is by recursion, that is the top down approach. The second method is by iteration, that is the bottom up approach, means this is what the core divide and conquer method, and this is what the dynamic programming approach. So, what happens in this case, pure recursion method, so each common sub problem is solved repeatedly over here. Just see if we break these functions f n minus 1 f n minus 2. So, basically we get such kind of a recursion tree here. Just see, if we want to find out the Fibonacci 4 value of Fibonacci 4, so it will be basically divided into 2 sub problems, f n minus 1, that is f 4 Fibonacci 4 minus 1 3, f n minus 2, that is Fibonacci 4 minus 2 Fibonacci 2. So, Fibonacci 3 and Fibonacci 2, again it is divided into 2 sub problems. So, Fibonacci 2 and Fibonacci 1, again this is divided into 2 sub problem, Fibonacci 1 and Fibonacci 0. So, this is how we divide a problem into sub problems. Now, so just see in this problem there are sub problems which are common. What? Just see here Fibonacci of 2 and here also Fibonacci of 2, these 2 sub problems are common. Similarly, Fibonacci of 1, Fibonacci of 1, Fibonacci of 1, these sub problems are common. If we solve this problem by simple recursion method, so what it will do, it will solve these common sub problems repeatedly, it will solve every sub problem one by one. So, it would take time. What happens in case of dynamic programming? So, once this Fibonacci to this sub problem is solved, its answer is saved in the table. Table is what? Table here we are taking an array. So, what happens? The value of Fibonacci 2 is being stored over here in the index 2. Now next time when this Fibonacci of 2 common sub problem occurs, so what it will do, instead of solving its own, it just copy the value stored in this table or this array. So, what the value will be stored in over here in this array, that will be directly used by this function over here. So, it will not solve it again. So, every common problem is solved only once and the answer is easily stored in the table, and that answer is being further used for the next common sub problem. So, just see here, if we call this function, so Fibonacci 4 is evaluated, then 3 and 2 will be evaluated. Now, suppose 3 here Fibonacci 3 divided into 2 sub problems, Fibonacci 2 and Fibonacci 1. So, Fibonacci 2 is already evaluated. So, what will happen? It will not solve itself and the answer will be directly copied over here. So, now just see, this is called storing the result in an array, that is called the memoization, and this is the beauty of dynamic programming. Okay. Now, just see There are four important steps in dynamic programming algorithm. First, the characterize the structure of the optimal solution. First, we characterize the structure of optimal solution. Then what we do? Then we recursively define the value of optimal solution. So, basically whatever the sub problems we will have, that will be actually defined, recursively defined in this case. And now the third step is compute the value of an optimal solution in bottom up fashion. The third step is, so we will compute the value of optimal solution, and finally the construct an optimal solution from the computed information, that is the computation obtained from the step third. So, basically dynamic programming involves these four important steps, and while solving any problem using dynamic programming will incorporate these four steps. Okay. Basically, if we talk about dynamic programming, it has two main properties: overlapping sub problems and the optimal substructure. Overlapping sub problems means, basically we know that in dynamic programming the computed solutions are stored in a table, so that these do not have to be recomputed. So, we do not require a recomputation of the common sub problem. So, basically where the problem is having overlapping sub problems kind of situation, in that case we use dynamic programming. For example, if we talk about binary search, so it does not have the overlapping sub problem. So, in that case we do not use dynamic programming. But if we talk about Fibonacci numbers, so Fibonacci numbers we have common sub problems, in that case we use dynamic programming. Now, the next is optimal substructure. We know that the optimal solution of any original problem depends on the optimal solution of its sub problems. Means if we get the optimal solution of sub problems, all the sub problems, finally we can get the optimal solution of the original problem. So, just see here, for example, if we talk about the shortest path problem, Floyd-Warshall algorithm and Bellman-Ford. So, it has optimal substructure. Why? For example, if there are two nodes u and v, and there is intermediate node, that is x. So, the optimal solution means the shortest path from u to v depends on the shortest path from u to x, and then shortest path from x to v. So, basically what we are doing here, we are dividing a problem into sub problems, and the optimal solution of any problem depends on the optimal solution of its sub problems. So, this is what the second property of the dynamic programming. Now, here we are going to take an example, that is a knapsack problem. So, what is knapsack problem? Knapsack problem, basically we have a knapsack means we have a bag, and it has its maximum capacity that it can hold. Now, we have n number of items, I naught, I1, I2, I3, In, there are n number of items, and each item is having two main properties, its weight and its value. So, weight and corresponding value. So, every item has its own weight and its corresponding value. So, the problem is what? So, we need to find out such a subset of all the items that we can keep it on knapsack, and knapsack can have maximum value. That is what the knapsack problem is. We need to find out all those items, set of items, or we need to put it into the knapsack, so that it cannot overload it, means its maximum capacity is given. So, the overall weight cannot be cross the knapsack capacity, then the knapsack should have the maximum value. So, this is what the knapsack problem. Now, it is basically two types, 0-1 knapsack problem and fractional knapsack problem. So, what is 0-1 knapsack problem? 0-1 knapsack problem, we have only two options, either we can take the item or we can leave the item. Now, the second is the fractional knapsack. Fractional knapsack problem, what we can do, we can take also the fraction of any item. In case of 0-1, we cannot take fraction of item, we can either take the item or we can leave the item, but in case of fractional knapsack we can take the fraction of item also. Okay. So, here we are going to discuss about the 0-1 knapsack problem. So, the goal is to maximize the value of knapsack. So, basically that can hold at most W units. W is what? W is the knapsack capacity, that a knapsack can hold maximum weight. So, we need to we have a list of items I naught, I1, I2, I3 and I n minus 1. Now, each item has two attributes, value and its corresponding weight. So, value, that is Vi for the item I, and weight, that is Wi for the item II. Okay. Now, we are going to solve this problem using dynamic programming. So, basically there it will incurs basically 4 steps. The first step is characterizing the structure of optimal solution. If you are going to solve this problem using brute force approach, so what will happen? So, basically there are to the power n possible subsets. If there are n number of elements in a set, so how many subsets are possible? To the power n. So, if we solve this problem using brute force technique, so the complexity would be big O of to the power n, that is the exponential complexity. So, it will be very high. So, in order to reduce this complexity, we will use dynamic programming, and we will see how this dynamic programming would help in solving this problem and reducing the time complexity. Okay. Now, just see, if you talk about the structure of the optimal solution, so basically our objective is to find out the optimal subset, that is Sk, where k is the k number of items. So, we need to find out a optimal subset Sk, so that it can maximize the total value. So, this is what the characterizing the structure of optimal solution. Now, we need to find out the recursive definition. So, how we can find out the optimal structure? So, we need a recursive definition. So, basically we need to find out a matrix B and BKW. What is BKW? BKW represent the maximum total value of a subset Sk with the weight W. So, BKW basically is a matrix which stores the maximum total value of what? Of a subset Sk which has a weight W. Now, our objective is what? Our objective is to find out B and W, where n is what? N is the total number of items and capital W is the knapsack capacity. So, where the total number of items and W is the maximal weight the knapsack can carry. So, we need to find out this value. So, now if we talk about the recursive formula, so recursive formula says that, so BKW is equal to this one if Wk is greater than W, means if the weight of kth item is greater than the current weight of the weight of W, in that case the value of BKW will be equal to the previous block value. Basically B is here, B is a matrix. So, matrix will have a certain number of rows and certain number of columns. Okay. So, if this is the condition, then what will happen? So, the value stored in upper block will be directly copied into this block. So, KW is what? K is the row and W is the column. K is the row number and W is the column number. Otherwise, if this is not the case, then what will happen? So, this set will, the best subset of Sk that has total weight W is the best subset of Sk minus 1 that has total weight W. Either it will have the total either it will have a total value of a subset Sk whose total weight is W, or it can have the base subset of Sk minus 1 that has the total weight W minus Wk plus the value of the item k. So, basically this recursive formula will be used in order to solve this problem. Now, the third step is computing the optimal solution. So, here we will write down algorithm and which will compute the optimal value, optimal solution. Just see, in this algorithm what we are doing, basically the first two lines they are filling the first row and the first column with 0 values in the matrix. So, basically just see W is equal to 0 to capital W, basically the first row is being filled with 0, and similarly for I is equal to 1 to n, basically it is filling the first column with 0 values. Now just see this set of lines, what it is doing, basically what we have discussed in previous slide. So, basically it is computing the optimal cost. So, how it is computing the optimal cost? Just see here. So, W varies from 0 to W, and for each W we are checking whether this condition meets or not. If condition is meet out, it means the I means the weight of ith item is less than W, in that case the ith item can be included in the solution. So, if it is the case, then the maximum value is stored in this block. So, maximum value of what? Maximum value means the value present in the upper block, that is B I minus 1 W, I minus 1 any previous row, W means Wth column. So, either the previous block value or the this block value plus Vi. So, out of these two, which one is the maximum, that would be copied into this cell, otherwise the upper block value will be copied. So, this is what the algorithm in order to find out the optimal solution. Just see here, we are actually we are going to discuss with some example over here using dynamic programming. Now, just see, we have 4 number of items. Now, the the knapsack capacity is given, W is equal to 5, max knapsack capacity is given. So, we have 4 items and their weight and values are given. First value is the weight and the second value is the value. So, weight and values are given. So, now we need to find out the optimal solution here for the 0 1 knapsack problem. So, this is the matrix. Now, just see this matrix here, the W varies from 0 to capital W. So, what is the value of capital W? 5. So, there will be 5 blocks. So, 0 1 2 3 4 5 yani 6 blocks. So, if we start from 0, so there will be 5 blocks in upper side, and if we talk about the row side means column side, if we talk about the row side, so since there are 4 items, so there will be 0 to 4 means 1 2 3 4, there will be 5 rows over here in this matrix. So, means row is assigning what? So, the row basically I is assigned with the row and W is assigned with the columns. Now, what it does, what this algorithm does, the first row and the first column are filled with the 0 values. Just see here, the first row and the first column, they are filled with the 0 values. Now, just see, now we need to fill these empty blocks. How we can fill these empty blocks? Okay. Now, we will take this line of code. This is very important line of code over here. So, using this logic, we can fill up the items or we can fill up the values over here. Now, basically in this block we are filling the item values. What are the values the item item is having? Okay. Now, just see here, if we talk about this block, so means the first means this block means I is equal to 1, I is equal to means we are picking the first item. So, what is the weight of first item? 2, and what is the value of first item? That is 3. Now, we are and what is the value of W over here? Now, 1. For this block, value of W is 1. So, the weight of first item is 2. Can we put a item having weight 2 in a knapsack having capacity 1? No, we cannot put it. So, if this condition does not satisfy, the weight of ith item is not less than or equal to W, in that case we directly, what we do here, we directly copy the value of upper block. So, what is the value of upper block? That is 0. So, 0 will be copied over here. Now, if we talk about this block, so this is the first item, I is equal to 1 and the value of W is 2 and the value of weight is the weight of first item is 2. So, the 2 and 2 means Wi and W are equal over here, it means this condition satisfied, means we can put the item of weight 2 in the knapsack capacity of 2. Okay. So, in that case what we do? We will find out the maximum value out of it. So, how we can find out the maximum value? So, maximum of what? Maximum of Vi. What is the value of this item? The value of this item is 3. So, that is the maximum of 3 plus Bi minus 1 W minus Wi. What is the value of Wi? 2, and what is the value of 2? 2 minus 2, that is 0, this becomes 0, and Bi minus 1, that is 1 minus 1, 0, B 0 0. What is the value of B 0 0? Value of B 0 0 is 0. So, 3 plus 0, and what is the value of upper block? Bi minus 1 W. Bi minus 1 means just previous row, W is what? W is 2. So, what is the value? 0. So, 3 plus 0 comma 0. So, what is the maximum value? Maximum value is 3. So, 3 will be put over here, 3 will be put over here, just see 3 value will be put over here. Okay. Now, just see this block. Well, this block, what is the value of what is the weight of first item? 2, and what is the value of W? That is 3. Knapsack capacity is 3. Yes, we can put this item into this knapsack. So, in that case, what will so the two means this condition is satisfied. In that case, we will find out the maximum out of this. So, what will be the maximum value? So, maximum of what? What is the value of this item? That is 3 plus, then B I minus 1, B I minus 1 means 0, W minus W I means the value of W is 3, W I is 3, W I is also 2. So, 3 minus 2, that is 1. So, we need to find out the B 0 1. What is the value of B 0 1? B 0 and 1, that is 0. So, 3 plus 0 comma, what is the value of upper block? That is 0. So, maximum out of these two, that is 3. So, 3 will be copied over here, just see 3 is being copied over here. Okay. Similarly, we can fill up the values of all the remaining blocks over here. Just see here, next block it will also evaluate 3, next block it will also evaluate 3, next block 0, 3, 4, 4, 7, 0, 3, 4, 5, 7, 0, 3, 4, 9, sorry 5. Now for this block, okay, what is the value of Wi? That is 5, and what is the value of W? That is 5. Means Wi and W both are equal. So, if both are equal, in that case, so this condition will satisfy, and the maximum value. So, maximum value, how we will obtain it? So, maximum of, so that is the value of 6 plus 0 and then 6 plus 0 and then 7, and what is the maximum value? That is 7. So, 7 will be copied over here. So, this is how we can find out the optimal value. Now, just see the last row and the last column block value, that is 7. This is your answer. This is the maximum value that a knapsack can contain. Now this is what the maximum value, but how we can obtain what are the items which are playing role in getting this high maximum value. So, this would be obtained with this algorithm. This algorithm says that if the value of B I K, we will start the I and K with N and W, and then if the value of these two is not equal, in that case the ith item would be included in the knapsack, otherwise the item would not be included. So, just see here, in this algorithm we will start from I is equal to N, K is equal to W, means we will start from the last block. So, we will start from the last block and we will follow upward. Now, just see here, upper block value is same, in that case the ith item will not be included. Now, next the upper value is same, the ith item would not be included. Now, just see here, upper value is not same, so the ith item would be included. So, just see here, what is the ith item? Second. So, second item would be included. Now, we come to the here just see the items are not same. So, in that case also the first item would be included. So, in this way we can say that the item 1 and item 2 both would play a role in getting the highest value in the knapsack. So, if we talk about the complexity, so complexity would be it runs W times, it runs N times. So, here also it runs N times and W. So, complexity comes big O of N into W, and just see here how the complexity gets reduced in comparison to brute force method. Thank you very much, that is all.